Hello friends, Jennifer Pearson here, Thistle Gypsy. And just coming on to share another trip. It actually was very short journey, and I don't know that I was even intending to have a journey, but I sat down where you see that pillow over there. So I sat there and I had my celestite. When I'm doing this lately, it seems to get some interesting results. I have a little cluster of celestite that I hold, and was just opening myself up to kind of whatever. I don't know how I arrived at what happened or why. I feel like I was just sort of opening, like, what's there, what's out there, kind of a thing. And this person, a fairly robust, physically robust man, maybe in his late 30s, very early 40s, something like that. But not much hair on his head, came forward, and this is like, came forward out of sort of nothing, just kind of came forward, and I thought, well, this is curious. I've never seen this person before. What's this? And I thought that maybe, alright, so is this going to be like some kind of a guide or something? I don't know that I've mentioned on here before, certainly not often, because I don't see him often, but I think even it was my first journey with Dolphin, I had this guy, and I feel like I need to go back to him on occasion. So on that first journey with Dolphin, it took me to sort of a tropical island with a lot of beach. I never went into anything tropical. I was just on the beach. And this guy came out, and he was a thin black man. It's like, it's one of those things where, of course, race in the end doesn't matter, but I had like no cultural context for a beach. I'm more of a mountains gal, and I had not previously thought in terms of tropical islands. I'm not somebody who has yearned to go on a vacation in the Caribbean or something. And then this person who essentially was taking the role of a healer, this person that came out to kind of meet me and work on me, was a little outside of my expectation. And I don't know that I've ever had anyone kind of come out like that other than him. And I don't have a name for him or anything. He's the thin black man. He's the skinny black man. That's all he is. And so this time there's this person, definitely of European, probably Northern or European ancestry, comes forward, and I'm like, okay, we're just going on a journey, right? We're going on a journey, or whatever we're doing. And so I went, and again, this happened very quickly. It's like I see this guy's face, and then I see water. It's like I turn away, or I'm following what he's doing is he's going toward a shore, or like we're right there with the shore, and I'm supposed to follow him, and there's a boat there, and I'm supposed to get in the boat and go with him. And I get this message: don't go in the boat, not the boat, don't do the boat. Total warning, total don't get in the boat is bad. Don't do the boat. And so I had to, it's kind of like 360. It's like, whoa, what? So this person who I'm just like, all right, I'll follow, is suddenly like, there's something wrong with this scenario. There's something wrong with this scenario. And then, so I kind of was waiting to see what would happen, so I didn't get in the boat. I'm just sort of, at that point, I become an awareness, not somebody participating. I am like an awareness, just there watching. And what happens is, way back, I don't know, was it this past fall or a year ago this past fall? Anyway, there was a point at which there was somebody somewhere was suggesting, that we try to connect with our ancestor or something. And the idea was, maybe I saw it in a book and I decided to try it, but I don't think so. I think it was something in the tarot community. And I remember doing a video about it. I don't remember what I called it or anything, and I was a little bit amused because the whole idea behind this, of course, you're going back to your ancestors and you're hoping to meet somebody really admirable or something grand or whatever. And my very brief meeting was this ragged girl coming down this cliff trail, a very steep cliff. So I was like, again, standing on a rocky beach, and there's these cliffs going up, and so she's like coming across the shaly beach area, and she hands me, and she doesn't even, I don't think she even looks at me, and her hair is kind of ragged, and she hands me a little kind of rusty circle of metal, puts it in my palm, turns around and leaves, and that's it. That's it. That's it. And there was something, I think there was another instance where I tried to connect with her. I think the next time I actually used dolphin to kind of go back. I hate to use the word used. Dolphin took me back to that situation, and I think I got into a boat at that point and went out into the boat, and there was something. There was a sense that when we got a certain distance, that there was gender issues. So in other words, I was female and the other people in the boat were male, and there became a point where they seemed to be turning into something threatening, and so I just jumped out. The convenience of a journey, a shamanic journey. You don't have to stay there and suffer whatever might be dished out, and I didn't let it get to an overt threat or anything. It was more like, it's almost like, when you look at the back of somebody's head and you think that they're on the verge of turning to look at you, for some reason. Maybe you're talking in a movie theater or something, and you can just feel that somebody's patience or something is going on. So it was more that kind of a vibe, like this feels like it's turning sour, and so I'm getting out. So I hadn't been relating to that. I was in this journey, and it was like it was his own thing until this whole thing started with the don't get in the boat. And so again, I become like a presence watching, and the girl gets into the boat. So I hadn't seen her previously in this particular experience, but what I see is the girl gets into the boat. And there's just a knowledge that this is going to be a bad situation. But now I'm in a situation where I can't do anything. I'm just sort of okay, so this is it. And it was essentially kind of somehow the girl who was warning me, don't get in the boat. Because she gets in the boat, and somewhere along the line, it's like she's betrayed. She gets in the boat thinking she's safe and it's okay. And then she gets somehow betrayed while in the boat. So this is just an understanding that I have. And so, so I'm going to refer, as I often do in these videos, to Eileen, because in her last video she made a suggestion that I found really curious about our ability to heal or help those past lives or whatever, and that is something that would not have occurred to me until this moment. And so serendipity, I had just watched that video, I think it was yesterday, or anyway, and so I thought, okay, so I know that the girl is going out in this boat and that something bad is going to happen to her. And so I go ahead. It's a shamanic journey, right? We just do it. So I went to, I felt like what I did was I interrupted. It's like I interrupted. So this was starting to happen, and I felt like I reached out, interrupted what was what was potentially going to happen, and scooped up the girl who was suddenly limp and unconscious. And I don't know if there was anything wrong. I don't know. That was not. I didn't think of myself as a healer so much as somebody. I'm disrupting the narrative. So I grab her. And then I end up leaving her. It's just like I scoop, and it's like, now where am I going to put her? and then I put her down on some pine boughs. These are cut pine boughs, like in an open cave area or something. So I put her down on them, and then I just sort of step back, and again, this is all happening very fast. And I see that there are, in fact, other people there, like a family. So it's like I have scooped her up, put her with this family, and then I start to see a timeline. So I start to see that she, in this situation, she ends up surviving and thriving. And it's a very primitive situation, like you would imagine when I'm saying the pine boughs and everything. But the last is, I was seeing it and it was fading. It was like she was about the age of 14 or something, and standing straight and tall and all of that. So, very interesting, and thank you, Eileen, for that suggestion. Again, I don't know if this is something for my own psychology, if it's, I still have something of that skeptical part of my personality, or if there is somehow some real connection between, this would be like space-time, reaching back. I don't know, but very interesting, and I appreciated having that suggestion instead of sort of passively watching and or being confused or whatever, that being able to disrupt my own passivity and just say, all right, I'm not just going to watch and let this happen. I'm going to do the reach. And I think it was just that reach. No. Say, no, I'm taking her back. So anyway, so there's that. And the weird thing is that, I think I've mentioned here before, that when I'm working, as in doing my, the job that I get paid for, it's on a computer. And when I do that, I'm listening to music. Now that music is from YouTube, And it's there's many like this. If you look up peaceful music or something, where there's music playing, and I'm not watching it most of the time because I'm working. So I've just brought it up because it's music. But these videos, because they're videos, they have images that string out. So one of the times when I brought up, because I do stuff on the internet as well as stuff in programs on my computer, when I brought up, there was the boat in the image. Not exactly the boat, but so the whole scenario was quite similar. And I thought, ooh, this is trippy. So it's like there was the boat as one of the images as part of that video. So there you go. There's another one. And yeah, I'll end there. Feel free to make any comments in the comment area below. Bye-bye, everybody.